our president.
Sure, and a couple of weeks ago, you started to see a couple of members of Congress talk about how the president should be impeached. They're moving toward articles of impeachment. And then the Democrats apparently did some poll testing, and we don't know what they found out, but they stopped talking about it.
Yeah, and even David Brooks, who was certainly no supporter of Donald Trump, has said in the New York Times the other day, enough is enough. The American people don't want to see our time and energy spent on criminal investigations. Look, there ought to be investigations. Did the Russians try to influence our election? Congress ought to look into that. Should the president have the power in the future to fire an FBI director? Maybe not. Congress can pass laws about that. But trying to turn what he did, which was constitutionally permissible, firing the director, maybe even telling him not to conduct an investigation, that's all authorized under the law today. If Congress wants to change it, let them look forward, but not look backward and try to create crimes out of constitutionally protected conduct.
Professor, if you look at the investigation, though, isn't it a conflict of interest for Mueller to be appointed and for him to choose an attorney that was Hillary Clinton's foundation attorney?
There are so many conflicts of interest here.
Right.
Here you have the Justice Department trying to prosecute a president for following a dictate of the Justice Department. The very person who appointed the special prosecutor wrote a memo saying Comey should be fired. Now we're going to prosecute you for firing Comey. Who do you think the first witness is going to be for Donald Trump? The deputy director of the Justice Department, the man who's prosecuting it. That's already a conflict of interest. There are so many conflicts of interest here.
Professor, I get the sense that maybe it's a turning point because this election gives you a definitive result on what's happened. They said Donald Trump's a failure, doesn't belong. America will have a redo. They had a redo 5 separate times. In Republican districts, I get it. But there's been no change. So do you sense that we're going to get back to, let's see how bad or good the tax reform is, how bad or good the health care plan is, what the president's going to do about North Korea? Do you sense that in the Democratic Party that they'll sense they have to turn the page?
No, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. They are a divided party. Right now, the visible manifestation of the Democratic Party is Bernie Sanders, Keith Ellison. The party is moving lefter and lefter and lefter, and they're not going to get the centrist Americans who they need to win in, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, if they want to turn this thing around. They need to have a positive program that shows that they're better, that they will employ more people than the Trump administration. Focusing on whether Trump committed obstruction of justice is getting them nowhere.
Sure. Dr. Alan Dershowitz with Cautionary Tale for Democrats. It's funny, when just before we got started, he was telling me about a kid when he was at Harvard teaching law. Remember you told us that Bill Bennett, when he was in your class, was constantly falling asleep?
No, he was always raising his hand. Bill Bennett was one of my best
by the way,
students.
he joins us live right now.
He's one of my best students. I am so proud of him. My first year teaching, I was so nervous. He walked into the class with his right hand up. He raised it the first day, and he took me on. I love students who are willing to take on their professors, and Bill Bennett was willing to take on his professor.
Even a football player?
Every day of the week, I tell you.
Bill, do you have any stories you want to share?
Yeah, Alan, actually, this little expose, whenever he sees me, says I was his best conservative student. Now, there weren't a ton of us conservative students, but I find out he tells the same thing to Ted Cruz.
The controversy.
It's a different generation. Ted's a kid. You're my generation.
All right, guys. Bill, stay right there. Alan, sadly, we have to send the car for you. All right, good.
Alan, you did have Ted Cruz on you.